We welcome into Studio Big the very funny Bob Marley.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
All right, all the way from Maine.
Yes, I came down in the Camp-A.
You travel around in the camper?
In the Camp-A.
In the Camp-A.
And some people say, "Oh, that's a tour bus." I'm like,
No, it's a camper.
That's a Camp-A.
That's a camper.
Yeah, the sleep above the driver thing and everything that's remotely sketchy about it. It's a Camp-A.
It's a camper.
Yeah.
But you are a big deal. In fact, such a big deal. We were just talking about Trace Adkins singing the national anthem at Fenway tomorrow before the Yankees game. And Trace Adkins once actually sold your merchandise.
Well, here's what happened. I was at Turning Stone Casino up in upstate New York, and I got off stage. I did my show, and I went to the merch booth to sell CDs and stuff, and my guy wasn't there. But there's a mountain of a man with a bag, like making change, talking to people, and so I tap him on the shoulder, and he turns around, it's Trace Adkins. He goes, "How you doing?" I go, "Good," and he goes, "I'm gonna sell your stuff, man. Good show." He could not be nicer. He was a great guy.
He's a very funny guy, and as great as his singing voice is, when you talk to him, it's like your eardrums rumble. It's just
country
amazing.
people are so nice.
Yeah,
We were talking off air. I used to tour around with Winona Judd, and she was an absolute sweetheart. And I would bring my dad to the shows. He would come out from Maine to Vegas, and he had never been to Vegas, hardly ever been out of Maine. And they had my name up on the sign, so he's in the room at Caesars, sitting in the room with his members only jacket on the edge of the bed with a Shaw's bag and a ham sandwich that my mother had made him. He had a ham sandwich. I go, "Where's your luggage?" He goes, "Right here," because it's Maine. That's the main luggage, a Shaw's bag. I go, "What's in there?" He goes, "I got a pair of socks and a ham sandwich." I go, "You're here for 3 days." He goes, "I'll make it. I was in the service, Bob. I'll make it." So I said, "Listen, I got to go downstairs and do a sound check." I go, "You can order food, do whatever you want." And he goes, I'm fine. I got the ham sandwich." Well, let me tell you something. In the time that I had left and the time that I came back, he must have realized, "Oh my God, I'm away from my wife. I'm in Vegas. I finally am out of the house.
It's room service here."
I came up back into the room. He had the robe on. He had the robe that they give you on, and he was a big guy, 6'3", 360, so the robe's barely fitting. And he had a tumbler full of some kind of brown liquid. And there's 3 tables of food wheeled in. And I go, "What are you doing?" I go, "What happened to the ham sandwich?" He goes, "Never mind that ham sandwich." He goes, "I'm back, baby. I am back." So he would, he had his bed, I had mine, and he would have the window open because they had my name on the sign. So he would just look at, we had the same name because I'm a junior.
Okay.
So he would just look at the sign all night long. And so the guy calls from Caesars and goes, "Hey, is this Bob Marley?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "This is Tony from Caesars." Just like a guy you would think would be calling from the basement. Rose-colored glasses, a bunch of different rings. He goes, "Hey, we're gonna change your name. We're getting a lot of calls about the Reggie singer." I go, "The what?" The Reggie singer. "We're gonna change your name to Bob Martin." I go, "Bob Martin?" And I go, "No, I worked hard to get it." I go, "Besides, I got a 360-pound guy next to me, who has the same name, and he'll be really disappointed if you start changing my name on the sign." And this is how the guy ended the call. He goes, "Okay," with that undertone. And I was like, "Okay, great." My dad goes, "What did he say?" I go, "They're going to keep my name up there, but I think I'm going to be doing the show with 2 broken legs tonight." So, and you try, those are fun shows. You do a lot of shows like that. You'll be lucky to do a lot of shows like that. And then other times, like a couple weeks ago, I was in Minneapolis, which is, a far cry from that. But I was doing shows at the Mall of America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a comedy club in the Mall of America.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not even kidding you. Next to it is a Payless Shoes. So my wife goes, where are you playing this week?" I go, I'm chasing it hard over at next to the Payless Shoes." So I'm on stage, and the crowds are nice. It's a nice club. It's obviously a safe environment because some places are sketchy. And halfway through my show, I go, "Oh, I'm from New England." And this lady goes, "I'm from New England." And I go, "That's great." I said, do you still live there?" And she goes, "No, I got out of that dump." I'm like, "Well, you really upgraded, didn't you?"
The Mall of America.
Yeah, Minneapolis is wonderful. Never mind the ocean and all the mountains in New England. Let's go to Minneapolis. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. And Camp-A-Palooza is now up to Camp-A-Palooza 2.
Camp-A-Palooza 2 next Saturday night, August 9th at Meadowbrook. It's upgraded this year. We've upgraded Camp-A-Palooza. There's going to be myself and 3 other comedians.
Wow.
So it's a big show.
It's a big show. And then we've got some music, and we've added video screens, and it's just a blast. And we have tickets as low as $20, and if you want to sit closer, there's some more expensive tickets. But it's just a great show. It's going to be rain or shine because, as you know, Meadowbrook is outdoor covered venue, and it's a blast. We did it last year, and we had thousands of people, and I'm looking forward to it next Saturday.
Right, and we should point out that there are now more covered seats at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion. RJ every winter does a little work up there, and they extended out the pavilion a little bit, so there's plenty of covered seats. Yeah. Camp-A-Palooza has been upgraded, but your camper has not.
My camper has not. So so last year we do Camp-A-Palooza. It's my show, but I call it Camp-A-Palooza because everybody in New England goes up to camp.
Up to camp.
So I said, let's call it Camp-A-Palooza and make it a summer comedy bash.
Yeah.
And so last year we do the show. It goes off great. We're behind the stage in our campas. Me and 3 or 4 of my buddies from Maine, they all had their campas. And around 2:30 in the morning, we get a knock on the door. And I open the door. I go, hello. They go, you guys got to go. We got to go. We've been partying, so I don't know where we're going. And he goes, John Mayer's here, and you guys are in this space. I go, okay. And my wife, of course, hears John Mayer, and she's standing up in her nightgown going, where is he? Where is John Mayer? Oh, my God, his body's a wonderland. So they move us out front, and the parking lot's a little tilted. So now I'm sleeping out front. I'm rolling over onto the wife every 2 seconds. She's like, not tonight, Bob. I'm thinking about John Mayer. I'm like, no, the camper's crooked. I'm not trying to get some action here. But, I mean, John Mayer, listen, hey, the guy's probably got 19 plugs he's got to plug in his giant bus. I'm driving a Winnebago. I probably don't need the space anyway, But,
really not.
Yeah.
BankNHPavilion.com is the website for tickets and info. Your website, sir?
Is bmarley.com. I'm Bob Marley Comedy on Facebook and Twitter. And we're pumped up for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Camp-A-Palooza 2, 1 week from tomorrow night at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion at Meadowbrook. If you don't have your tickets, get them now. BankNHPavilion.com. As always, Bob Marley, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a wicked good week. And